Kicking for three with Cam and Charles.
All right, hey, stop!
Steps back, 2 over, take a deep breath.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome back to another Kicking for Three. We are here in week 12. That is absolutely insane. And it has been a really good football week, but personally, it wasn't too bad. I mean, a couple of shitty things did happen, but we're going to jump right into it. So, with the last Thursday night game, I know that's kind of hard to believe we're only talking about that now since it was 6 days ago, but Steelers and Browns faced off there down in Cleveland, Ohio. And the weather, I absolutely love the weather. I think you did too. It's so cool.
Snow game of the year.
And they want to build dome on us, which is crazy. I hate domes. You got to keep the winter games. But the game wasn't as I was hoping. I know I said last episode it was a trap game, and I 100% predicted it that it was a trap game. Tomlin always has to lose this random game in the middle of the season to a 2-win team. He did it last year. He did it the year before. He just does this. So the stat line: Browns 24, Steelers 9.
Why has the Steelers only lost to bad teams this year?
I know, because they're undefeated against teams with positive records.
What is that? That to me makes no sense.
The Colts won. That was because Justin Fields was playing, same as the Cowboys won. I think if Wilson was playing, especially in that Cowboys game, I think the Steelers would have won that game.
But could have, should have.
Yes, exactly. But you asked the question. I'm answering the question. And then the Browns game, I was just about to get into it, but especially with that Colts game, I'd say Fields, definitely. But with the Browns game, I actually noticed different things than what happened with the Browns. Did a fantastic job, and I will give them this, shutting down TJ Watt. He didn't even get a touch on the quarterback all game.
Yeah.
You didn't even knew he was there. And then you had your George Pickens crash out in the stands at the end of the game. Always love to see that.
This is a growing issue. This seems to be his
If he was on the Cowboys, you would love it. You would absolutely love it. So the stat lines were Russell Wilson threw 21 of 28, 270 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Few more incompletions there than last game, so this is a little more concerning. Then you got the bum Jameis Winston that won for 18 of 27, 219 yards, and one interception.
I really love Jameis Winston. To me, he just seemed like such a hilarious guy to hang out with.
He's funny.
He's of decent value. I know he's Christian. I'm not Christian, but I think he actually is somewhat that is not. I don't know. A lot of people like Nick Bosa and those people who. It's like they're just doing that to provoke, but it seems like him is a genuine he has a family. I love his personality. I think he's a great football player.
You're gonna hate this.
I'm glad he kicked the Steelers' fucking asses.
Whatever makes you sleep at night. I'll say
18 to 27.
He would be fun, and I'll give him the respect if he was good. He's mid at best. Good for him. That's college. This is the NFL. This is this is an NFL podcast. You're Travis, look at fucking Baker Mayfield. He won the Heisman. Look at all these people that won the Heismans. Now they're not. Yeah. College means nothing. So, and then you had Jalen Warren out-rushing Najee Harris for the third game in a row. Actually, we do want to talk about that. I kind of want Jalen Warren to be the running back one. So, Jalen Warren went for 45 yards on 11 attempts. So that's less than Najee with a touchdown. Najee Harris went for 41 yards with 16 attempts. That's 5 more with 0 touchdowns. So Harris, again, kind of falling off the wagon here. Calvin Austin had a bigger game than George Pickens. He went for 3 receptions, 78 yards, and a touchdown. Pickens was I would say Cleveland's defense did play really good that game.
Are you talking about Chubb, though? Chubb? Not too bad. Two TDs.
Yeah, Chubb did go off, but I will say this. My most hated player in the NFL, and it has been for a long time, is Myles Garrett. Can't stand that guy ever since he started throwing the helmet at our old quarterback years ago, all this shit. He's going on about post-game saying he's the best defensive player in the world and all this.
He deserved
your team has 3
player of the year last year. You know that.
Okay, how many sacks?
You know that. You just don't want a black man to win.
Who broke the all-time sack record in one season last year and didn't win Defensive Player of the Year?
I would give it to Bland. It's either him or Bland. Bland broke the record for pick six.
How is Bland doing this year? Jordan, how is he doing this year? Yeah, fuck off. So then you got with the Cleveland and Steelers game. So with that, I will say this: the Steelers do got Cincinnati next week, and I would lie to you and say I wasn't nervous for this game because Cleveland is a way better team than their record. Burrow can sling it at any time. Their defense is a little weak.
Game.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is the most dangerous receiver this year as well. I will give him that. I'm excited for that game, though. Like, that is going to be some fireworks as well. It's a 2 o'clock start, which is not bad. So now let's move on to you. And I'm not used to saying this, but like I said, and I said this last podcast, too, because I even predicted your Cowboys to win last week.
Yeah.
I even won a bit of money on that, so thank you. So, Cowboys, jump right into this. How do you feel about the big-time boys getting the win?
I was somewhat shocked. It was surprising.
It was a classic at the end. It was a good game.
That's to me, that was really what decided the game. It was such a weird ending. The last 4 minutes were so changed the entire trajectory of the game. 24 points scored by Dallas in the last quarter, and 17 points scored by the Commanders. So to me, there was like such a flat. It was like a college finish to a game where,
for sure, yeah.
What's his name? McLaurin, he had that huge catch, get that big TD, and it looked like the game was over. And then those idiots threw it to Turpin. To me, Turpin has been the player that has like been the only fun thing to watch this year. That was 2 kick returns this year, which to me,
that was like a
returning a kick return is
that was crazy.
And it was literally like it like dropped. He had to like pick it up
dropped
behind
it, then he fumbled it.
Yeah, and he is unreal when he gets started. The rest of the game, Rush again, nearly 247. That's basically 250 yards after a 350-yard game. That's kind of surprising. 2 TDs.
Can I ask you one question? This is more of fantasy sake. Does Rush not like Lamb? He does not throw to him. I've noticed. He doesn't like him.
Well, to me, I'm really struggling with Lamb this year. I think
like 12 targets.
I think we had I don't know, there's always this hype when it comes to whenever the Cowboys get a really good receiver, there's always this hype. We pay them big and then they turn into divas.
Man, you gotta understand that.
And
like,
I think Cooper Rush is a guy. I don't know. I see him as I don't know. I can see him as someone.
Look at the targets compared to everyone else. Like, he's still getting the higher value, but
12 targets, 10 receptions. That's not too bad. Only 67 yards, though.
I'm more,
so not much.
For fantasy-wise, I'm more, like, where's the red zone targets at? Like, what's going on there?
Yeah. But the coverage on Lamb has been crazy this year.
Yes, he's probably getting doubled for sure.
So I think it's probably he doesn't want to have a lot of interceptions, so I don't blame him for that. But I think with Lamb this year, I'm really struggling with seeing how this was a good signing.
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't have his right-hand man in, though.
Yeah, I know, but if you're paying someone that much money, to me you got to be a game changer when their team is this bad. You got to be someone and he has put on some good games this year, but nothing that really is moving or threading the needle or anything like that. It just
okay. So if you're thinking like this, so you hate the Lamb contract. Is what I'm getting from this. You're not a fan of it. You don't hate it, and you hate the Dak contract.
I hate that one.
So did you want, like, the Cowboys ownership and everything to let the 2 main guys that sell you tickets just to walk because they want too much money?
No.
Look at everyone wearing their jersey. Like, come on.
I know, but it's just
his face is on everything for the NFL. Come on.
But
to
me, you look at
I like Lamb. And
what team has been like? I don't know. Truly was I think QB. I think that makes sense to pay the money out to the QB. To me, Dak wasn't the guy that you pay that much to.
No, I agree with that.
I think they should have just let it expire, walk, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But I'm obviously not Jerry. But I think when it comes to a receiver, I think it really bloats a lot of your cap when you put a lot of money in your receiver. And when you look at people like what Josh Allen has done, he lost his star receiver. That Diggs is arguably as good.
And it's a better team.
As good as CD. CD might be slightly better right now. But it just is like, he proved that if you have a good QB, you don't really need these like huge, expensive receivers because it kind of lets you pay more money for better offensive players.
Yeah, Diggs not having a good year at all. He hasn't played since week 4, hasn't it been, since he's out? Like that was a tough loss for the Texans. So overall, who the Cowboys got next week?
We got the Giants.
Oh, tomorrow some
Thanksgiving,
turkey bowl,
tomorrow.
right? Yeah,
Everyone's saying
that's
this is
going
going to be
fun.
probably the most boring prime time or not. Is it prime?
Well,
It was Thursday night.
No,
forget
because there's
it'll be
3
probably in
games
the
tomorrow.
day.
I think they're at 5 o'clock.
I don't
I'll
know.
have the zone on at work. I already asked my boss; he doesn't care. I can watch football tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So
But
I'll
yeah,
be watching.
I'll watch it. I hope we beat them.
Sure. Daniel Jones isn't even playing. He's
Well,
out.
Did he just get
He
signed?
got
He
signed.
got signed.
He got signed by the
To
Vikings.
Yeah, he's gone to the
Yeah.
Vikings. And I want to me,
Weird-ass
do you
signing.
think New York should start Locke over was DeVito guy? Or whatever
Yeah.
his name is?
This DeVito guy is not it.
I don't get
that,
what they're...
that cute honeymoon scene last year because he played 2 mid teams and had his family all there. It was fun. It was funny. It was like Sopranos, real life
That guy
Sopranos.
with
But
the phone.
yeah,
the
but yeah,
fedora.
that's his agent. Like it's so. It was fun. It was cute.
It was a
but-
meme.
Yeah, it's a meme. It's not real. It's not gonna be a thing. Like as any meme does, it dies fairly quickly. Look at the Hawk Tua girl now. She's nothing now.
So DeVito is the Hawk 2 of the NFL.
Of the NFL, yeah.
Riding
Actually,
that wave.
that's gonna be Travis Hunter next year. I'm predicting it right now. Big bust.
So one season he's a bust.
No, I'm not even. I'm going with dude. Give it a few years. Just watch it.
Okay.
Now let's talk. Let's
I'll talk
more.
about a bust. My fucking fantasy week.
Yeah, I kind of want to. I want to rub this in big time because I don't think you know this stat. The only time you bet me ever in fantasy was when someone almost died on the field.
Okay. That's
You are 1-5 against me in fantasy. How does that feel? So think
How
about
do you
that
know
week
that?
to week. Because I'm so undefeated. I know it. Anyway, so you went with the one and only Bo Nix, and I went with the sexy Baker Mayfield. And Bo Nix did outplay him by not even a point, which at first I did see that, and I was like, uh-oh. So Baker had 18.66, Bo Nix had 19.42. Both decent games for both quarterbacks, I will admit that. Then we go down to our running backs, and I have the Aaron Jones, such a good running back. He got basically rounded to 17 points, and James Carter there rounded up to 5 points. So there, I bet him on that. And then my other beautiful running back, Jahmyr Gibbs, aka Sonic, he went for 22 yards, and then your Bears running back Devontae, whatever his name is, Swift, he went for around 7. And then this guy saved me the week, my boy Cortland Sutton, the guy who's his quarterback, Jordan?
Bo Nix.
Yeah, thank you. So he went for 21.70, and then your cute Calvin Ridley went for 930. Of course, Lamb underperformed.
He's been decent, Calvin Ridley.
680.
In certain weeks.
St.
Depends on
Brown,
the week.
I was scared from him, but he
did
kept
shit.
quiet. Laporta all year.
Waddle finally
Yep.
had his first big game. Aubrey, I honestly wish it was more of a kicking game for Dallas because
Yeah.
if he had a 40-yard field goal, I would have won because I only lost by 3 points. Reminder.
I don't think you wouldn't have won, but it would have been so much closer. I'm not even kidding. At 150, I switched Justin Herbert for Baker Mayfield. I know you still would have lost, but last second I switched it back. So I had Cortland Sutton on the bench too, and I took out who did I take out? I think I took out who was he?
You should have put in Lockett.
Fuck no, he sucks.
Actually,
He have 0.
Seahawks had 20 points of defense last week.
Yeah, I know. Fuck, I should have started them. So fantasy, I'm back in 6th place, so now I am back in playoffs, which is great. So now I am running at I believe 6-6 record,
I'm
our
on a three-week slide, I believe.
Yeah. So you're 6-6 as well. With
Still
me,
in
we're
playoffs. I'm
tied.
still ahead of you though.
Oh yeah,
Bitch
you
boy.
would be. Look, I have like no points. So that's good. Anthony the Scots is fucking dead.
But
Jesus.
if there was one player that I wish I had on fantasy, that would have been Barkley.
Oh, yes, we definitely got to get into this. So Saquon Barkley completely blew my mind there on Monday night. Barkley went for 255 yards on the ground for only 26 carries. That is disgusting. Averaging 9.8 a rush. So basically a first down every time you hand him the ball. He has
That's a
7
cheat
games
code.
over 100 yards this season, which is absolutely disgusting. So how many he went for?
And he went
so
for four,
overall,
4 for 4, 50, I forgot to put it down. 4 for 4.
yeah, but he
57
overall
yards.
he did go for 300 yards, and he must have
He
had
did.
what, 2 touchdowns?
Yeah.
So 2 or 3, something like that. So that was absolutely amazing. Like that Eagles team, I find every year there's kind of a superstar running back that is in talks for MVP. So last year it was Christian McCaffrey. He's been hurt all year. He's back now, but he can't even beyond catch Barkley. But Barkley, I think he has a way better shot this year than McCaffrey did last year.
With the
way the quarterback's been.
But I really don't see them putting him in. I'd love to see a running back win MVP, but I just don't. They always are going to go QB. To me, the way that the scoring works, it's completely it's like QBs have a 99.5% chance of winning because they get every snap of the play.
Yeah,
like it's
crazy.
But there's I always think it should go.
Some of them call plays.
I think it should be if you're in your category, like with him rushing yards and rushing TDs, if he absolutely exceeds everyone who's below him, to me I think you should win MVP or be arguably for it. Because that's the thing with the QBs, it's like I don't know, there's people that go 4,500 yards a year and have 50 TDs, but it's I don't know, to me that's something that happens every year where it's like Barkley could potentially break the rushing record. And it's like that doesn't happen every year. Oh, there seems to be always a QB that'll get 50 TDs, right?
Because with McCaffrey, I did notice this with McCaffrey last year. McCaffrey did get a lot of passes from Purdy to him, and Jalen Hurts, obviously, because Jalen Hurts has an AJ Brown, Smith, he has way more options. So I find Barkley doesn't get as much throws and holds as he did as McCaffrey last year. But I think that game really suited him. I think he is in second spot for my MVP ranking now. I think Josh Allen still won slightly, but I do think Barkley is at second there with that was absolutely unreal. And that's not even the craziest thing he did all year. Remember that cheat code that we saw there, that reverse hurdle? That was nuts. Now they added that in Madden. That's a superstar move.
Well, to me also too, when I look at Barkley, it's a sad reminder why didn't we pass? Because now it's only hurting us. He's our division rivalry. He's basically our team's biggest. He's part of the team that's our biggest rivalry in the NFL. And it's we're allowing because we didn't try to get him when we needed a running back. This guy, to me, it's another example of.
Well, I remember seeing in the offseason, I think Barkley said the only team he wouldn't play for is the Cowboys.
Oh, really?
Because of that.
Well, you give him enough money, he could play.
Oh, yeah, money talks, but Jerry probably took offense to that, and you know how he is, and that he's probably like, well, fuck you then. I'm not even going to try. We don't need you and all this. So, yeah, I find that's a really shitty situation on New York. New York football is nothing but embarrassment this year. And
but even if they couldn't get Barkley, go for Henry. And I know it's getting tired to say it every week, but it just is
oh no, I
just is so annoying to watch. Just watch your manager just fail the team in front of you.
Then that what's it called? Sorry, that game was actually Sunday night. Saquon, my bad. Monday night was actually it was Chargers in Baltimore. I just want to say this quick. Oh my god, what the fuck was I gonna say? Oh yes, Lamar Jackson. I don't think he's that good when he plays good coaching defense. When he went against, I know he did play decent this game and stuff, but oh man, the only thing I really want to say about this game is if Baltimore lost that game, Steelers won this week. Oh my god, they would have 3 games ahead of them. They would basically clinch their fucking division, but it's all good. Competitive football. Here we go.
Well, the
next few weeks are going to be nuts.
Put that into playoffs.
Yeah.
And how are you feeling right now about the current seed that came out if playoffs start right now?
So we have the Chiefs at 1 seed, obviously Lions at 1 seed as well. I think that is staying. I don't think that is moving.
No,
I think that is a lock. So, but everything else can move drastically. 7th, that Broncos-Bills game will be a good game. It'll be close start. Bills would take over in the second half. Chargers-Steelers. That's a tough one.
That's an interesting. That would be a really good game.
That'd be a weird game. Yeah.
You guys.
You got Harbaugh versus Tomlin. It's different Harbaugh, so that would definitely be interesting. I think Tomlin could squeeze a win out of that. I just kind of backtracking here, but just that photo. Every time they post that on Instagram and the Steelers logo's not there, everyone in the comments, "Who's the 3rd seed?" Steelers dumb. I don't know how they don't know that. But Chargers Steelers, I think that would be an exciting game. I think that would be a low scoring game, but I think it would be a very fun game. Baltimore versus Houston, I think that would be an exact same replica as last year, exactly how their game went last year. Houston keeping it close early, Lamar coming in, getting the job done.
Well,
Commanders, Eagles.
But Texans, are they currently, I'm checking, I thought they were on, they're on a
the 4th
2-game
seed.
slide.
They're a 4th seed right now.
Yeah, I don't know, I really see that one as that one will be changing.
Yeah, oh yeah, I could see Broncos Bills will be changing too.
Yes, yeah. Do you think the Dolphins could sneak into playoffs here?
Yes, I think the Dolphins could if they just keep going with Tua and how they're playing competitive football right now. I think if
but as soon as we know that as soon as Tua goes out, they're done, right?
Yeah, exactly. If Tua didn't go out this year, I'm not even kidding. If Tua didn't go out this year, I think they would be in the 3rd seed where the Steelers are sitting at right now.
Yeah, they have such a good offense when they're healthy.
I love watching them when they're healthy. But now going to the NFC, Washington versus Eagles. I
don't want to see that.
I think the Eagles would completely embarrass them.
I know I don't want the. I want the Eagles to play a tough team.
Geez, Packers Seahawks Seahawks could keep that close, but I could see Jordan Love running away with that pretty quick. And Vikings Falcons, I actually would bet on Falcons. I do not trust that Vikings team at all. I know Justin Jefferson.
They got Daniel Jones now, though.
They're not going to use him. They're not. I wish the Cowboys signed him just for this Thanksgiving game so he could beat the Giants. That'd be that would be kind of fun.
That was the thing I'm confused. How much do you have to pay him though?
League minimum. He just has to accept it.
Oh,
no,
okay.
wait. He still has that. He still has that contract. Yeah.
Doesn't it? Because it was the Giants that released him. So
they kind of paid. They gave him $90 million of it.
See, I don't
now, as you can see in the hunt there, the teams realistically.
But if you wait. Sorry, one point though. But you look at Barkley, and now he goes to a good team. Like, Daniel Jones to me does have a lot of assets that could be good. He's just never proven it at all.
Daniel Jones was throwing interceptions and fumbling like crazy. Barkley, when he got the ball, still made crazy plays, didn't fumble, kept the ball, all of this. So
injuries.
Daniel Jones was the problem. There's a lot of problems with that Giants organization that we could actually probably get into next week. That would actually be hilarious.
Mr. Ozempic.
So I want to go in. Yeah, the coach. Oh, what the hell? I can't believe he still has a job. So with the hunt, I find the hunt very interesting this week. On the AFC side, I'm not going to lie, I only see the Dolphins squeezing in out of those 3 teams. Colts, no. Bengals, no, just because the way that
they're on the
start the season went.
Especially if they lose the Steelers.
Cardinals could squeeze in 100%. Bucks, easily, yes. Rams, yes. Niners, if you don't beat Buffalo this week, you guys are officially done.
they don't get in.
Did you see the weather for that Bills-Niners game? It's supposed to be like a snowstorm in Buffalo that night, and it's in Buffalo. So you never know. Niners could get lucky with that. With McCaffrey back, that run game could be good in the snow. But yes, the team that I could see getting in most successfully out of the NFC is I could see Baker Mayfield leading that team, especially with Mike Evans coming back. I know he won't be getting Chris Godwin, but Mike Evans and him, they have a really good connection, and especially with that, what's his name? Their running back White, he could definitely get some explosive runs going.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, playoffs is looking very, very exciting this year. I can't wait. It's just, I personally don't care. I just find it so weird not seeing the Niners there. That is weird. Wow.
Mm-hmm. I really hope they miss. To me, that'll be.
It would be pretty funny.
It'll be beautiful. After we're locked for another Super Bowl. We're locked for another Super Bowl. Yeah, fucking right. As soon as you lose one player,
Dad packed it in.
Yeah,
Dad packed it in.
They're the biggest fakers out there. But now we're gonna transition. I think this is something that's been. I know you've kind of remarked on how annoying it is, but it just seems like this year for Cowboys fans, it just seems like all the blame has been pointed at Jerry. And to me, I don't argue with them. I think it should be pointed at him because he has caused this complete failure of this season. A team that last year was a playoff team is now completely relegated to probably being 4th in their division.
Diddy has more of a chance to get out of prison than the Cowboys do to making playoffs. I sent you that on Instagram today.
But I also
sex offender can be free more than a. Oh shit! Can I say that on here?
I don't know. Yeah, curses. But
not those words.
But basically, I know there was some slight news with Jerry. He's still talking about re-signing McCarthy. He's had quotes.
I don't hate it.
He's had quotes saying that McCarthy's still a Super Bowl coach. I really don't see it. To me, I think we need a new identity. McCarthy has not proven himself with this team, with this assets that he's had. To me, it's just not worth it. To me, I think when you have a season like this, or you have these years where it's disappointment in playoffs, you're not improving yourself over the year, you're only getting worse. To me, that's time when you need a scene change. But basically, I want to say that this year, or I don't know this year, but on this podcast, I officially nominate Jerry in the Evil Owners Club. And I did some research on some NFL owners this week, and some of them I didn't deep dive into it. So there's probably some worse stuff that they've done, like I don't know, use child labor or something like that. But I don't know. There could be people like that. But these are some that I thought were kind of interesting. Jerry Richardson, he's kind of an famous one for being a terrible owner of the Panthers.
Cheap bitch.
Being a bitch. Being a cheap bitch, essentially, too. This is something that absolutely annoys the hell out of me. These sports franchises are $100 million machines to $1 billion machines, and they still beg to the government, pay for my stadium, pay for my stadium. Use your profits, save up money for it, be like an actual human. He used $87 million of public funds in order to get a renovation on a stadium. And there was also like estimated around of like $50 million on top of that. And then, he is worth $2 billion, but he needs $87 million from the government. Biggest welfare queen out there. And has a team that makes over $500 million in revenue. How can you not pay for $87 million in renovations? I don't get it, because it really only helps you guys. It makes the stadium look nicer. It makes the team look nicer. So I don't get how that should be a public funded thing.
Not at all.
He's also was quoted for essentially telling players who are concerned about concussions and head injuries that you have no horse in this fight. That you're basically an idiot.
That happened a lot, especially back in the early 2000s. A lot, even coaches would like call players pussies and everything. Like, yo, you can't take a big hit and all this. Like, you don't really want CTE, my friend. But
and I think he actually even said it to like Peyton Manning. I think there was Peyton Manning. I think when he was kind of like looking for teams when he was leaving the Colts, he basically, I think he mentioned the concern about like head injuries, and he's like, "Yeah, you're an idiot. I think he said you wouldn't know anything about that." It's like
a future Hall of Fame quarterback. You're talking to him like that.
Yeah.
That's semi-interested in going into your shitty franchise. Oh, man, owners, man, I tell you, it's so bad.
And now the next one on the list is going to be Daniel Snyder. I think that's how you say it. He is the owner of the Commanders, former Redskins.
Yep. This is recent.
He bought the team, I think it was 1999. It was actually, at the time, it was one of the biggest purchases for like a professional sports team. He nearly paid $1 billion, like $800 million.
How do you even... Wow.
And now, so essentially for decades, he was like heavily criticized for the name. My opinion on like the Redskins thing, to me, I have no horse in this fight. I think essentially the way that North America has treated Aboriginal people, I think that they have the right over all their culture and their heritage, and we should. Well,
what's funny about that?
Without their permission,
the indigenous communities want that team name back. They were never offended at it. It was the white weirdos who thought everyone was offended at everything and completely revoked it. There's a petition out there that has over 1 million signs by indigenous people in North America who want that back, but they won't do it for some reason.
And that's where
it's just crazy how
they can choose that. That's where I find, to me, it's
well,
not
they're trying to do it with the Chicago Blackhawks, and the indigenous community in Chicago stepped in and said, no, we absolutely love it. It's heritage. You guys have all the stuff in the stadium. It's same as the Redskins. They had everything indigenous in there. They had statues of the old tribe, outfits. They had everything, how they hunted, how they ate. And people found it offensive. It's the same as the Eskimos for the CFL. It's ridiculous.
Well, the Eskimos it's to me it's not my word. Eskimo anymore. I know is a controversial term. It's kind of a slur. That's I think that's kind of why they're. But he basically promised for like a few years. Like he was really big into like, no, we're keeping it the Redskins. It's staying the Redskins. He promised that he would never change the name. And then 2020 came around, and essentially there was like, I think it was something like 70 partners that the Commanders had, Redskins had, basically threatened that they would no longer have deals with them if they kept that name. So he essentially only caved when he didn't actually give a shit about
Money.
Aboriginal people or their actual identity. It was just purely because it was going to affect his wallet, which I think to me is like the biggest pussy shit. He also sued a journalist. There was a journalist that was really heavily critical of him using like the Redskins name, and he basically sued her because he was a little sussy baby about it. And then of course, number one, Jerry fucking Jones. Basically the shining example of the Dunning-Kruger effect, which essentially means that you believe that you're a lot more intelligent and smarter than you are because you're in that position, but not because you actually are. He fired both head coach and GM who ran the Cowboy for 29 years. Those were also, I think they won combined, 3 or 4 Super Bowls. He fired Jimmy Johnson and said that any top 500 coach could have won with the Cowboys. Essentially being, it doesn't fucking matter that you were there. He just thinks anyone, you could put a cardboard cutout and they would win, which to me is insane. He's also has only won 5 playoffs, 5 playoff games in his years. After the Super Bowl, only 5 playoff wins, and only 3 of those being wild card wins. So there's only been 2.
That's one and done.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this. I love that the Rooney family is going strong.
Just wait.
I dying anytime soon. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, and then this is to me. I didn't even know this till today. He passed on Randy Moss. And
I
to
knew
me,
that.
I think I say that he kind of likes a more Cole Beasley type wide receiver. Just a little more manageable.
He kept Cole Beasley around way too long.
You're probably gonna why because it's the color of his skin. But
and he had the white hair.
In doing my research of this, I'm gonna bow to your whims. The Rooneys are the best owners.
The best
in professional
owners
sports.
in all of sports.
I love it.
Everyone calls it them.
They're Irish American heritage.
Yep.
They immigrated to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's where their roots are from. They've only had 3 coaches since 1969. Their philosophy is not, I'm a rich genius who can run a football team. It's we have the money. We put the people that can do this in place. And that's why you get Mike Tomlin.
Look at the swagger. Look at all the stuff. Come over, Jordan. There's still room.
No, I'm not caving to the Steelers. But
man, it's so nice. The only thing I will say about the Rooney family, sometimes they are too loyal. They're very loyal people.
Yes.
Sometimes they are very loyal to players and coaches, I've noticed. Because I'm not going to lie, if the Rooney family wasn't in Pittsburgh, I think Tomlin would have been gone in 2019. I think he would have been gone. But he's still there. And I've never been a Tomlin hater. You know that. And there's a lot of fans that are. I until he walking around in a cane and diapers, he's Steelers coach. And then, guess who comes in after Tomlin? Big Ben. He's coming the coach.
Really?
He's got to.
Is
he wants to. He said he doesn't want to do anything right now, but he does want to do something with the Steelers organization down the road. So even just offensive coordinator, he has called plays in a Super Bowl before, so he knows what he's doing.
Okay.
When he won the Super Bowl, he was calling plays that game.
That's pretty cool. No,
yeah.
So there you go. I gave you.
Yes, you got to give. You can. Yes, no one. A football fan cannot discriminate the Rooney family and what good that they did. Yes, you can hate the Steelers, you can hate anyone else, but you got to give the flowers to the Rooney family.
And they also do the most Super Bowls for owners.
Yeah, exactly. See, it's just we stay winning over here, man.
Well, also there's so many annoying owners too that are basically just because of their. I guess the Rooney's
Who's the Chiefs owner's name again? Oh my, Clark Hunt. Clark Hunt, is that his name? Does that sound familiar?
For who?
I think it is Clark. The Chiefs, Clark Hunt. Is that him?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's a pretty annoying owner.
Yeah,
he's a good owner, but he is annoying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
I essentially
really
I think if you're an owner of an NFL team, you should say, I have this money, and with this money, I can get resources. I'll get wins. Exactly. I can't stand for the life of me owners that think that they are some genius super level. They just like. No, you came from a business probably usually elsewhere. They usually make money in tech or they make money in oil, like Jerry or something like that.
Quote me if
So it's
I'm wrong. There could be more teams, but there's a team that actually is not owned by anyone. It's
Green
owned.
Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay Inc.
Yeah,
I find that so cool.
And that kind of I think that one's cool because that saves their franchise because they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't realistically exist if it wasn't that setup. But
They will never relocate because the owner's Green Bay, the team. It's so cool. Green Bay is also a really cool historic team with stuff like that. So yeah,
no, for sure. But this has been another week of the Kick It for 3 podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening along. Any final thoughts, Cameron?
I'm just hoping the Steelers can pull out a nice, girthy, hard-fought win against Joe Burrow. If I will say this, about any other team in the AFC North, I do have a little respect for Burrow and Chase. I do think that they're a good combo. That team is still kind of fun to watch, but we'll see what happens. I know that team did give Antonio Brown CTE, so that's very interesting as well. So there's always some historical bad blood with that, but Juju got his payback years later, so we're good, clean, solid, hard-working football game. I hope to pull out this big, big win because they need to clinch here in a few weeks to keep my nerves down. They have to. How are you feeling with your Cowboys going in? Final remarks.
I'll watch the game tomorrow. It's those little teams I like where it's like, yeah, there's a chance that it could be exciting.
Oh yeah, they're winning. They're winning. They got it.
I think Cooper Rush could get over 300.
I think CeeDee Lamb's going for 2. He's starting.
Okay. Well, all the best. I hope I come back in fantasy though. I can't
Yes,
deal with
too.
this 3-week slide. Peace,
all right,
everyone.
we'll see you.